There was a boy named Billy who was made fun of and picked on in school, but then one day while playing his favorite game, Rock Simulator, he was trapped inside, and then he turned gray and his eyes turned black, and then he killed his bullies after they decided to touch his rocks. Now, if you play a haunted copy of this game, Billy will make sure to come out and tickle your toes. Horror has been a consistent theme in all of history, from biblical days, from some of the outright horrifying descriptions of the stuff that happens, to nowadays. Horror takes all sorts of shapes and sizes. Books, movies, games, and some of the most recent depictions of horror is analog horror. And that has quality to it, trust me. But back in the day of the Wii and the iPod, there were things called creepypastas. Creepypastas are essentially internet ghost stories. They've been popular in the 2000s and the early 2010s, such as Jeff the Killer, Slenderman, Ben Drowned, Sonic.exe, and etc. There are a ton of these things, and people were scared of these things while they were growing up, including me. I was outright pissing my pants when I was reading some of these things, or listening to whoever was reading them. In fact, my birthday is around the time Slenderman was coming into existence. So, the birthday groups are a little awkward, but with all the creepypasta hype being completely dead by this point, I can look back on these things and think and reminisce on how absolutely ass these things are. I don't know how on earth these things got popular, because there's really only one word I can describe these stories as: edgy. There's so many of these stories that are literally just a bunch of edge fests, and it is honestly so painful to read nowadays. Like Jeff the Killer. He's a super mysterious dude who cut his mouth open like the Joker, and then he kills people if they don't go to sleep. Okay, so we're not going to pretend like this dude isn't a Photoshop fat dude. This isn't scary. I'm not going to be intimidated by some low-rent, sunlight-deprived Joker. Eyeless Jack, another creepypasta where a cult made him blind and put tar and blood into his eyes. And now, he goes after people and takes their kidneys for his gaming PC fund. Super gruesome. You see the problem already? This whole thing is about tar and blood in his eyes, which is already stupid enough. But what's with the stealing the kidneys? Why? Why not just kill him and be done with it? Why does it have to be specifically the kidneys? Also, this design does not look scary. This design literally looks like I drew a bunch of black circles on his face. That's literally it. And I think this is supposed to be a mask, but even then it's still not scary. And also, why the kidney? Like, out of all of the organs, take something else that's, like, a little more impactful. Like, I don't know, the spleen. Smile Dog is actually one that I really never understood. It's essentially The Ring, but it's a dog photo, and it makes you go crazy and end up, let me see, unaliving yourself. Look, I'm gonna be totally honest, this just kind of looks like a dog is wearing retainers, okay? Why is this supposed to be scary? This isn't making me scary, it's making me waste my time. And then there's those lost media creepypastas. Ooh, those things make my blood boil. Sonic.exe is probably the most famous or infamous example of lost media creepypastas. It's essentially about this dude who plays a haunted copy of Sonic where Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman die. And they're super hyper-realistic blood. Are you scared yet? Then the narrator gets murked by a Sonic.exe plus. Now, the story itself is, like, really stupid. Sonic was a sadistic monster, my butt. But it's really hard to be scared of this thing when it's focusing on Sonic, who we already know is this chili dog guzzling hedgehog. Okay? This isn't scary. And also, the person that made this is a pedo. So, yeah, I don't think that you're going to be making a career out of this. You might as well get early for work tomorrow. Another lost media thing is Squidward keeps himself safe, where someone working at Nickelodeon watched a super edgy band episode of SpongeBob, where Squidward is sad because he's buns at playing the clarinet or something, and he goes super sad and insane, and then decides to do some where a ton of super graphic photos and hyper-realistic blood appear on the screen. What's with all of that? Why are you trying to turn these obviously children characters into these super graphic and only for the bad boys kind of stuff? Like, this is Sonic the freaking Hedgehog and Squidward tentacles. They're as scary as me threatening to poon your ice cream. And while there's absolutely no details in the stories to even make it make sense, that doesn't mean that it needs to be over-explained. And sometimes, things just need to be left alone. And also, in those certain times, that doesn't really happen. Take the backrooms for example. This picture is super scary because you don't really know what it's about or anything about it. And that made it really unnerving because we don't know what's in it. In fact, that's actually probably one of the better creepypastas out there, even if you would consider it a creepypasta. Just seeing this eerie room and having the description telling you like all the sounds and stuff that might happen, especially that last sentence, that is really good stuff. Like, this is actually something that I am on board with. But apparently, this is just too good for the internet, so they decided to do what the internet does, ruin things. Now there's 5 billion levels of the backroom. There's every single kind of level imaginable. You must go through the super serious puzzle and encounter all these secret creatures, and then after that, you must go into the corner and you must twerk for absolutely 30 seconds. And then after that, a super mysterious portal opens up and sends you to level 6-7. The job level! What I'm trying to say is that some things just need to be left alone, and it doesn't need to be expanded on. So what do we learn? Nothing? Cool.
Guys, is this Freddy Fazbear? Arr, 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 arr.